Hi everyone, I'm here to demonstrate a quick breakdown on Raena AI, what it is, how to use it, how to navigate, and give you some basic insights and tips and tricks. So first of all, Raena AI is a study application that you can access on your phones, tablets, and even computers. It'll allow you to take your workload based on files, text, readings, and convert it into quizzes, summaries, podcasts, and even more. So to get us started, what we're going to do is we're going to look up Raina AI. For a new user, it'll take you to the main page just like everyone else. And what you want to do is you want to get started. This will give you two options. Either to create an account with Google, very straightforward, takes you straight there. Or you can use an email. It'll send you an email with a login link, and then you go from there. Now, because I already have an account, my login will look something like this. If you're a new user, it'll give you some options. It'll give you some available plans to access the whole myriad of features, and it'll give you some notifications as to some updates. That's all based on your own personal preference. Now this is the home screen. The home screen is going to show you everything that you've generated and you've kept. It'll start with podcasts, quizzes, and the summaries. That's where you find all those. Then you have everything on the side here. This is where you generate your podcasts, quizzes, summaries, and access a tutor. Then you have your billing, so you can make sure you're on the right plan, or if you want to upgrade, that's where you go. Settings, if you're looking to change any details there, or access account stuff, that's where you find it. Support, if you have any issues, you send them a message. Help Center, a lot of your questions will be answered there. Feedback, if you have an idea, send it there. And don't worry about dashboard. That's just a thing that only some users have. Okay, to get started, let's generate a quiz. So with quizzes, you have a few options on how the quiz can be made. You can get it from a file, which is the most common one. Any students, they'll have PDFs of readings that they'll have to read. They can put it in through there. However, if you just want to get a section from a text online or through a PDF and you don't want to upload a file necessarily, you can put it here. There's always a good second case scenario if you're not too sure on how to upload PDFs, because this is very straightforward. Now, link. Link is very helpful. If you have, for example, a Wikipedia article or an encyclopedia article on the internet through a website that is not necessarily on a university because it's fully accessible and fully public, put it in here. Just a matter of copy and paste. Now, when you note this, let's see if I actually have that. Yeah, for example, this is a Wikipedia page that I had before. It'll let you know if your link has been validated. Because it's a Wikipedia article that I can literally put in here, paste, I can access it straight away. If you are accessing university material, there's a chance that it'll only let you access that if you have an account with the actual university because you pay to go there. Then there'll be some differences. You won't be able to access it publicly. In that case, that's where you would look to either acquire the PDF or copy the text. Now, the other option here is image. Let's say you have a whiteboard in class that you want to take a photo of with your phone, and you can upload it here. It'll generate the content based on the text and the content of that image. Very smart. The last one, which is also very helpful, is YouTube. Let's say you have a lecture that is available on YouTube, but you want to be able to condense it into a quiz or a summary. You put it in here, and it'll use the content spoken and seen with that YouTube link in here. But yeah, let's start off with an example. Now, I'm going to create a quiz based on a file. The file is this one. It's a long text. So I'm going to convert all this information into a quiz that I can answer. I have some settings here that I want to make sure that I'm happy with before I proceed. It is in English. I want to have my quiz in English. However, if I don't see the language that I want here, I can always detect language, as they're always adding support for language down the line natively, but that's a good universal one. But for now, we're doing English. Now, question type. This is important. Question type will give you the chance to either do multiple choice, true or false, free response, fill in the blank, or a mix of all of them. So if you want to be more dynamic in how you're answering and remembering the information, you can go with mixed. However, if you're just fine with true or false or mixed choice, something a little simpler, if you have less time, you want to go quickie, then you do that. So I'm going to do mixed. How many questions do you want? As many as you really need. You can go from 1 to 10, 50. I'll let it choose for you. Now, quiz mode, exam mode. Quiz mode is going to let you know if you got your answer true or correct or incorrect as soon as you answer it. More like a quiz. Exam, it's not going to tell you if you got your answer true or correct or incorrect until you've finished all of them. So you'll be able to really feel the difference there depending on how you like it. I'm going to go with quiz mode for now. And then groups, if you want to be able to siphon particular subjects into different groups, you can do that as well. I have 2 of these right here. So if I wanted to add this to miscellaneous, it'll automatically group every other quiz summary into this group there. Okay, so let's get a start of actually generating. So we have this very large reading. So what we're going to do is, because it's a file, a PDF file, we can open this, either drag or select like this, and now it's given us an option. This is all the text, and you can choose to select all of them. However, if you want to specify the sections that it'll inquire about, you can do that as well. I'm going to get rid of the references just for a sake of example. It usually won't pull the references and ask you those questions. It's pretty intelligent. However, for the next example, I'm going to take those out, and we're going to save the selection. We're going to verify English, mixed, 1 to 10, quiz mode, no groups, and we start. Now, depending on the size of the file, it may take anywhere between a couple of seconds to a couple more seconds. However, if you find that your PDF file is very, very large, you can do 2 things. You can either compress them, or you can only ask it to select those specific pages that you need. Otherwise, you'll have to start generating other quizzes, but just be sensible about it. The app is good. You just need to be realistic. Cool. Here we are. So this is the first example of a multiple choice question. So we are going to pick that one. And because it's in quiz mode, it's told us that we got it correct immediately. Now, true or false? It's pretty hard to not understand this one, thankfully. Just without reading it, I'm going to say true. Correct. Now, this is the free response. So what it's going to do is that it already has an idea of a rough answer in its head based on what the information provided was, but it's up to you to tell it the right thing. So what is the most significant anxieties connected to YouTube in its early years? I'm going to say copyright content from users and companies being angry about that being unregulated. I'm not too sure if that is correct, honestly. I think that's roughly the same idea, but we'll have to see if it wants to be. Here we go. So, here we go. So copyright. So it's giving me full-on feedback. The essence of the expected answer focuses more on social anxieties regarding youth behaviors and morals. So I wasn't quite there, but it's given me that context. So it's not just no, it's here's why. And that's a very good feature about this. And then we have the fill in the blank. So early media framing of YouTube resulted in news stories focusing on youth, celebrity, and I'm going to say morality. Correct. Here's another free response. How does mainstream media contribute to shaping? It was scared of the youth being unregulated with content. Again, I'm not too sure if that's right. That's just pretty layman's terms, but it's going to tell me why I'm wrong. But once you type an answer that's more within that general scope, you'll get it right. and blah, public perception, copyright policies, nope, public messaging. So it'll give you a good amount of feedback, and that's how you learn. I'm not even gonna go. No, so crisis. Yep, cool. So now we've reached the end page. It'll give us a score and a percentage. We can either choose to try it again, go home, or review answers. And it'll tell us what we've gone wrong. We can also choose for it to reveal the answer, and then it'll give us a rough sense. So that one was for the short answer. It'll just tell us what's right from no matter what question it was. Then you can go to view all results. So if you have a specific text that you want to keep revising and getting more and more correct until you fully locked it in, you can even review the amount of times that you've gotten wrong or right, or the trends. It just gives you that information. So you can start a new attempt to start it again, but that's where you'd find it. So yeah, that is quizzes. The next one we're going to do is summaries. So summaries, very similar to quizzes, will give you a lot of options in terms of creating it. We also have language, and here is summary type. So summary type being brief, detailed, and deep dive. Some of these will be limited to depending on what side of account you are. I'm going to go brief. And then you can also change the type of output that it does, text or bullet points, depending on how you want your summary. I'm going to go with text. Groups, no groups. And I'm going to attach the same file as before. I'm going to leave that and have it summarize everything. And then we'll start the magic. Again, depending on the file size, depending how long you wait. But this one isn't too big. It's long enough for me not wanting to read it. But here we go. And this is our summary. So it's going to break down a lot of the concepts into key little subheadings and paragraphs. Now we have a few options here. Take it as it is, print and export it, take it with you. That's easy said and done. However, if you want to modify the scope, scale of this entire summary, you can do that as well. If you don't like the way they've worded this, or even the way they formatted it, you have a couple options. Very Word-esque, however, we're going to focus more on the Ask AI, which is a limited feature, but for those who are lucky enough to have it, this is what you're going to see. You can either improve the writing, fix the grammar, make shorter, or make longer. I, for one, am going to make it longer. And you can go ahead and you can experiment with each one of these features. They're pretty cool. It's going to verify the actual content that it is proposing. So I can either replace this entirely or insert it below. Or if you don't like it, you can discard it. You can even give it some instructions on what to do next. Modify, explain it a certain way. I'm going to replace the section, and now it looks like that. So that is the terms of modifying your summary. However, now I want to learn even more. So I'm going to ask AI to explain it to me like a tutor. Now it's going to start learning the content, so I'm going to give it a while to do that. But so we're not, waiting here, I'm going to open up a different example to display that feature. So this is one I prepared before. Same principle, same file. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up this Ask AI. It's already analyzed the entirety of the summary and the file that provided it, so it can start to teach me. Now, let's say in this example, I needed to analyze YouTube and celebrity culture, but I don't fully understand it. So I'm going to say, explain YouTube and celebrity culture in simple terms. You can ask it to explain it any way you want. It's very good with this. So give it a few seconds to process the request. And then here we go. So you can go through that. However, I'm going to say explain it in short terms. So you can go back and forth and have a discussion. See, now it's broken it down in very, very simple terms. YouTube, platform for sharing videos, influencer, popular creators. Yeah, exactly what I asked. So that is a way, if you want further context driven from the file that you've provided, it's essentially like having a tutor, but with you all the time. Okay, so that seems to be pretty much the wrap on summaries. I'm going to show you podcast now. So this is the podcast page. It's a lot simpler because podcasts are very different. It's going to give you the opportunity to provide a file or text, and also the language that you want it in, and the groups. So for the sake of time, I'm going to provide you with a podcast that I've prepared previously. Before I do that though, I will show you something that I missed. Let's say that I wanted to share this. There's a share button there. However, I'm going to open this as well. And you'll notice that there is a link here. These are all individual links. So if you choose to want to be able to send this to your classmates, you can do that. However, if you don't want this and you want to feel more secure, you can always set it to private. So that link will only be able to be accessed by your account. And that goes for the same with quizzes and summaries. So the same media that we provided it, the textbook, is going to create an entire podcast. The transcript is here, and I'll play a little bit for you now.
Welcome, everyone, to today's episode of the Digital Deep Dive Podcast. I'm your host, David, and joining me today is the ever-curious and delightful Emily.
So they have a good back and forth. There's two hosts, and they explain it in a very casual term where you can understand the content and just have a listen. It's very helpful. This is a very early stage of it as well, from what I understand. So improvements are only yet to come, which is great. So the next step I'm going to show you as well is the tutor. Tutor is very similar to what we have in the summaries. However, the benefit is that you'll have the actual textbook with you as well. So if you do so choose to read, you can just go back and forth and understand the content and then ask it questions with this in front of you. So it's a good comprehensive way to learn. The benefit as well is that you can add multiple different files. They'll load up, you can preload them, and you can have quite a few files there. This is a very popular feature from what I understand, because I can even have this textbook with over 1,000 pages in it. Quite fantastic. And then yes, I'll give this a go. I haven't had a chance to test it with this particular one. Let's ask it about a particular section. Let's ask it about explain the chapter about the copyright wars. You can even choose to access summary file and summary page, which is a pretty easy way. You can just ask them the same way. I haven't worded this correctly, but it has given me a general overview of copyright. This is more of a way to explain things yourselves or explore ways that you can engage with this. However, they're constantly improving it and adding things, so either way, it's pretty good. Okay, so overall, that is the whole scope of the website and its features in very layman's terms. I'll be sure to provide more information on the site itself. And if anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to run you through any other specific details and give you a hands-on look on what it can do or how to access things or how to make your study experience better. But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for joining me, and we hope that you enjoy this website.